Hey now, what is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back after finally seeing Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs and Shaw is a 2019 film that is a spin off of the Fast and Furious movies, and man, I still, after all these years, cannot believe that we are at the point where the Fast and Furious movies have not only made, what, 8 or 9 movies now? But also, we're at the point where they're making spin offs. Because who was really asking for a Fast and Furious spin off? Well, apparently somebody was. This movie is directed by David Leitch. And the plot. The plot is we follow Luke Hobbs, played by Dwayne Johnson, and Deckard Shaw, played by Jason Statham. And these two are recruited by the CIA to look for not only our main bad guy, played by Idris Elba, but also to stop this virus from getting into the wrong hands because it could cause the end of the world. You know, the usual. So you have a lot of mayhem and destruction and car chases galore. Now, what I thought of Hobbs and Shaw was I had fun with this movie. I did. I can't pretend like it was bad. I can't pretend like it wasn't a good time. I'll just say that it's not the best Fast and Furious movie out there, and it certainly is a bit too long. And I say it's a bit too long. I'm looking at the length right now, and it says it's 2 hours and 16 minutes, which maybe doesn't sound all that long for a blockbuster, but for whatever reason, watching the movie, there's so much action, there's so much fighting, there's so much car chasing, there's so much stuff blowing up that after a while, it felt like we were at the 3 hour mark, and this movie just wouldn't end, it wouldn't stop. Now, it's never boring, I guess. I mean, maybe in some cases it is boring because by the time you get to the final fight, you're sort of spent, you're sort of exhausted. There is a lot that this movie is throwing at you. I will say that our two leads, Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, are very charismatic, very entertaining, and them bouncing off of each other. There was a lot of scenes, a lot of jokes, a lot of them making fun of each other, a lot of them taking shots at each other. That made me laugh, like genuinely made me laugh out loud, and I enjoyed. But then you could tell that they were repeating this for so much of the movie. So much of them just going back and forth and trading blows and giving insults. And it's just, after a while, you did think to yourself, all right, I get it. These two don't like each other. These two, clearly, they have their issues. And then it made me stop and think, well, why don't they like each other? Didn't they dislike each other in the last Fast and Furious movie, but then became friends at the end of that? So now we just regressed. We went backwards. And I guess now they're back to not liking each other so that we can go through that same thing all over again. And also, I couldn't help but think, why are we pretending that Jason Statham's character didn't kill Han? Han was a big part of the series, big part of the group, a big friend character, and nobody cares anymore that he was killed in cold-blooded murder by Jason Statham. No, now Jason Statham is a good guy. It's a good thing that the actor is likable because you sort of just go along with it and say, what the hell. The action scenes, as many fighting scenes, especially with Statham, where he does what he does best. He fights off more guys, a bunch of guys by himself. The Rock is good at just blowing stuff up and being a brick shit house because he's The Rock. Vanessa Kirby plays Jason Statham's sister, and she is very good. She has her own moments of looking like a badass. She has her own moments of standing out, especially with two big superstars like this. She is memorable. She has some great stuff going on. I enjoyed her. I liked her dynamic with Statham. Idris Elba plays Brixton Lore, and I liked Idris Elba mostly because it's Idris Elba. Again, a lot of this is the actors bringing their own personality, their own skills, their own interests into this role because other than that, as far as the script goes, there's not a lot there. Idris Elba as a villain, not a lot going on. As far as plot goes, the main issue of them wanting to take this virus and destroy the world to rebuild and genocide, the weak will die and only the strong survive. It's like, I've seen this plot by villains so many times just in the last couple years, never mind my whole life, that, again, it's tired. And so it's Idris Elba's performance. It's him calling himself Black Superman that I can appreciate. There's moments like that. His whole deal is that he's been experimented on by this secret government that turned him into this bionic force of nature. And that's kind of over the top in and of itself. Again, these were the Fast and Furious movies that were about racing, people. But now they have a science fiction thing where this guy is going around and he's able to lift cars and destroy things and be Black Superman. It doesn't really help, though, that he's doing all this and The Rock and Jason Statham are almost doing the same thing without that experiment. They're just able to withstand and survive all of these death-defying things because they're the main characters and they have plot armor. Also, Helen Mirren is in the movie as Jason Statham's mother. Roman Reigns, for any wrestling fans, he is there just to be Roman Reigns and do some wrestling moves. If you like wrestling in WWE, yeah, he does all of that. So I guess that was cool. There are a couple cameos in this movie that I very much enjoyed, very much appreciated. Two in particular I'm thinking about right now, and they made me laugh. They were a big surprise. So look, this movie has some good stuff going on. This movie is very entertaining in and of itself. I would recommend it if you're just looking to turn your brain off, have a dumb, fun time in the theater. It's a good date movie. But don't expect too much more than that. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Hobbs and Shaw. Do you agree with me that it's just a big, dumb, fun action movie? Or do you think it sucked? Do you not like where the Fast and Furious movies are going? I honestly would say that it'd be better if they ended it after Part 7, after Paul Walker died. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Absolutely.